Hi, my name is Charity Schubert, and I'm the executive producer of Les Liaisons Dangereuses, and I will also be playing the Marquise de Merteuil.
My name is Heather Peak Hooper, and this crazy talented woman has hired me to direct the show.
And I'm also completely crazy because who else would produce this show?
You said that you have been wanting to do this show for years. What is it about this show?
Oh, I fell in love with this show years ago. I think the first time I had contact with it was when I watched Dangerous Liaisons, which is an adaptation of this script, and I fell in love with the role, later discovered that it is in fact a stage play, and I just knew I had to do this role. I love the Marquise de Merteuil. She's an incredible, just strong, awful, gorgeous, sexy woman, and we all get to, we should all get to play a villain at least once in our lives. But she's not just pure evil. She is a product of her time. She was a product of the restrictions placed on women in society at that time. And I love thinking of what Merteuil would have been if she could have lived today. And I'm fairly certain she would be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I just love the story, and it's so tragic, but it is also so funny and real, and it's just full of passion, and I love that.
I think that's something that's really shocking about this script, because I don't remember laughing out loud in the movie.
Christopher Hampton wrote the screenplay and the play, but there's something about it being on stage that makes it a little more uproarious, which is just a beautiful balance to those sadder, more awful, tragic moments.
And so you've got these wonderful moments of joy and laughter, and it just plunges you faster, because that the laughter weakens our emotional defenses.
Yep. And for anyone who doesn't know, Heather is a wildly talented Shakespearean actress, director, and scholar. The language is so beautiful. It is modern. It's not Shakespeare. Obviously, Christopher Hampton wrote this in 1985, and it is an adaptation of an epistolary novel that was written by Chaudelin de Laclos in 1782. So its roots go way back. The language is modern, so it's completely accessible to the audience, 100%. What were some of the themes for you that really resonated with you as a woman living in 2025 in the United States?
It's being staged in all of its glory of the correct time period, and at the same time, I think it will speak to our audiences, and I think it'll speak to everyone, no matter gender. I think we'll identify with so many of the women that they have to play their part in society, or they're ostracized, and how they find their voice. And I think that the way to find the hope in all of this is not that, God, we're still fighting this.
Yeah.
It's that, look at us, we're still fighting this.
Yeah. I don't think that modernizing it, I don't think if Merteuil walked out in blue jeans carrying a cell phone that it would add anything, because I don't think that the script is lacking anything. So if anyone feels like, oh, it's a period piece and, costumes and it's gonna be stuffy, it ain't stuffy. It's hot, but it ain't stuffy.
We got corsets, baby.
Yes.
And some of them are going to be ripped off.
And French society at that time, it was very important, especially for the aristocrats, to keep, things very prim and proper, and we'd never show it overtly. But everyone was having liaisons with everybody. It was well known, all the shenanigans at Versailles.
But the whole language of the fan.
Yes.
I mean, the reason it came about is
Can you tell us a little bit about the language of the fan?
You want to send the message of something, and so you are going to place your fan in a very specific location. They're predatory in the ballroom. They see everything.
It was the original sexting from across the room,
Yes.
and no one knew. It helped you keep up appearances of being proper and appropriate, and Les Liaisons Dangereuses is all about what happens behind that facade.
I mean, that women were seen as monetary importance. Marry them off for a political, a social, a financial gain, but property of father, and then move to property of husband.
And it's changed through different points in time, and in some ways French women were more empowered at this point in time than women in other countries, but there were still tremendous disadvantages to being a woman. And it's very interesting that the Marquise de Merteuil is in this position of freedom and power, and she can do what she wants and sleep with who she wants and move through society on her own terms because she is a widow. She was married off very young and had a husband, and then, as she puts it, I think he very thoughtfully died, very tactfully. He very tactfully died, and now she, inherited from him. So she has the money, she has the big house, she has the dresses, she has the freedom, but she doesn't have the hindrance and encumbrance of a husband. The audience is going to be in for a wild ride and really going to love it.